This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Dynamite Daniel Dubois here in London. Daniel, always a pleasure. How are you?
I'm good, man. Ready. Good.
You're ready, and you seem to be in very good spirits today ahead of what, for many people, might be a bit of a daunting task, travelling out to Poland to challenge the unified heavyweight champion, former undisputed heavyweight, former undisputed cruiserweight champion Oleksandr Usyk. How's your camp gone so far, Daniel?
It's going well. Training's been good. Training's been hard. I've done all the hard work now. It's time for a battle. Time for a good fight.
Your first fight under the tutelage of Mr. Don Charles. How have you found that, the adaptation of changing from your past coach Shane McGuigan, now working with a new coach, going into the biggest fight of your career?
Good. John has been great for me. I feel like the experience and the knowledge from him and the team, bringing in new members as well, it's all been adding up. And, anyway, my dad there being there, the constant, push behind me, it's going well.
We saw a little glimpse of what everybody's expecting to see next weekend when you challenge Oleksandr. What specifically do you feel like you have to do to have your hand raised next weekend in Poland?
Whack him in the face as many times as possible. Body, arms, everything above the waist. And that's, by any means necessary. And perform out of my skin, bring out what I haven't shown before, skill-wise and all of that.
It's refreshing to hear this, Daniel, because obviously going into this fight, people look at how Anthony Joshua fought Oleksandr Usyk and they mentioned his physical attributes and that he maybe never made the most of it. You're obviously the more physical of the two between yourself and Oleksandr. How key is it that you impose yourself on Oleksandr next weekend?
I don't want to do too much talking about it, but it's obviously that's it. He's a great mover. He boxes, moves, and he can do that all night long. So I've got to shut him down. I've got to show my age, my youth, and my speed and power, and put that all on the night.
Is that something, I know you don't want to give too much away, but something that specifically you've worked on? You've not been somebody who's associated with being fleet-footed, kind of light on your feet. That's Oleksandr's style. So is it something for you to kind of stop him in his tracks, work his body early, try and slow him down in the fight?
There you go. You got it all worked out, haven't you?
Well, I'm trying to get you out of you. It doesn't matter if I say it.
No, it's I can do both. I can move, I can box. I've got good amateur experience, and they're not. I'm sure they're. Whatever they're thinking, whatever people are saying, let them keep saying, because boxing's full of opinions. So it's now time for me to go out there and perform in the night.
Boxing's full of opinions, whether they work in the sport, whether they're a fighter, whether they're a fan. A lot of people have somewhat written you off before you've even stepped between the ropes, Daniel. What have you made of anybody who has done so?
I know that, so let them keep talking. People got a lot of things to say. Let them keep talking. I'm ready for it. I'm up for this moment. Yeah.
How sweet will that?
Be quiet, keep quiet. You right, young man?
Yeah.
So look, what are we going to do?
Rock the world. We're going to shock the world.
Rock and shock.
Yeah.
We're going to Poland to rock and shock. He's going to do it.
Definitely.
Listen, with Frank in your corner, anything's possible, Daniel. But yeah, just kind of sticking with the fight itself. For those who have doubted you heading into the weekend, your thoughts on that?
I'm so ready to fight, man. I'm ready to fight. It's it's all the people that have a lot of things to say. I don't care to really, it's boxing. This is boxing. If you're not used to it, get out of the sport. This is it. Everything's on you. There's pressure. There's everything. But I'm an underdog, and I'm just ready to rumble.
Will it make a victory even sweeter if you prove all of those doubters wrong?
Of course, all of you doubters.
What are you pointing at me? I'm not a doubter. Listen, I'm a neutral. I'm neutral in all of this. Daniel, but you seem to be in fantastic spirits. Is this the best you felt heading into a fight?
I feel loose, feel lean. I just need to be precise now and keep that sharp movement, sharp energy, quick, deadly speed going.
You headed out to Spain for your training camp. Don Charles said to me that he wanted to make it uncomfortable for you. Did it feel uncomfortable out there?
Yeah, the food especially. But I got through it. It's worked. It's done what it's needed to do. All of the moments that I needed to go through, I went through them.
Daniel, I have to ask, going into the lines then next weekend, Poland, a lot of Ukrainian sport will be in the building for Oleksandr. Have you tried to prepare yourself for that? Are you ready for what I imagine will be a very hostile atmosphere when you step into the arena?
I'm always ready for that. that's part of the game. That's it. Every champion that ever was had to go through these moments, and this is mine.
What would it mean for you to have your hand raised?
Everything. You know, everything we've worked for. Every heavyweight's after this moment. Every heavyweight's after them titles. So to get there first and do it, that would be amazing. That would be a dream come true. And you know, for the family, my dad, and everyone supporting me, that would be completion.
Trials and tribulations in your career, Daniel, the defeat to Zhang-Joyce, the up and down fight with Kevin Lerena, all to end with your pinnacle here with Oleksandr Usyk. It couldn't get much better for you, could it?
It can't, you know. This is what it's all about, these moments, proving them wrong, and you know, the haters and all your enemies out there, they're out there. So it's all about, you know, coming through that and coming through all the tribulations you have to in this sport. It's all about making you and shaping you as a human and a man.
I know it's a difficult task for anybody, not one you want to overlook, but if you are successful, you have your hand raised, the future could be huge for you, not just financially, but those fights, the potential Fury Undisputed fight is on the line.
Yeah, there you go. Do you need it anymore? Do you need it anymore? That's the, you know, then them belts carry their weight with gold, so that's what it is.
Daniel, just while I've got you and get your thoughts on a few other fights, we mentioned Zhang-Joyce earlier. He's got his rematch with Zhang on the horizon. How do you rate Joe's chances in that fight?
Oh, interesting fight. Zhang is, you know, heavyweight, southpaw again, so we'll see. We both got southpaws, haven't we? So let's see.
How have you found trying to find sparring to imitate the style of Oleksandr Usyk? Has it been difficult?
It's been, you know, we've had the right sparring, we've got the right guys in, and so we've had plenty of that European style sparring, and I'm all geared up and ready for it.
Obviously, Daniel, going back to this past weekend, Anthony Joshua stopping Robert Helenius in the 7th round. What did you make of his performance?
I thought he, you know, my people said around me, you know, it was expected. He's not. Listen, he got the job done and he got the win. Devastating knockout. You know, I'm sure people are going to compare it to, you know, the Wilder one and how Wilder done him in the first, but it is what it is. You know, on and upwards. A win is a win.
A lot of talk about Joshua Wilder happening next. How do you see that fight playing out if he gets over the line?
Right now, you know, based on their past performances, you say Wilder, but styles make fights in boxing, and we'll see. Let the best man win.
Right, Daniel, I've got one final question, and I want you to imagine I'm Oleksandr Usyk. This is your final message to him. Look in the camera, please don't look at me and don't start swinging for me. But your final message, if Oleksandr Usyk was here, still, yeah, I know, that's what I'm telling you, please don't. But if this was your last chance to say your final piece to Oleksandr Usyk, what would you say to him?
Huh?
If this was your final piece to say something to Oleksandr Usyk, what would you say to him?
Nothing. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready for a war. This is it. This is the belts. This is it. Let's bring it on. Let's get it on. I'm ready for a fight. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I've been through it. I've suffered, and now it's time for the finishing to complete this.
Daniel, I appreciate you not punching me there and imagining I was Oleksandr, so I'm going to leave you now to finish off your rest of your media duties. Thank you.
Good stuff.